The motive to me remains, I have to say, somewhat obscure. I mean, we just don't know what it is. You don't think it? I mean,
the motive is he's 5 years old. These are my toys. He's a narcissist. He wants to have this stuff because it's cool to have this stuff. He wants to be able to show it off. He believes he owns everything. He owns the generals across the river. They're my river. Right. I mean, my generals. Right. Everything's his. He's 5 years old.
The reason Trump kept so many top secret documents is a mystery. And now that they've been taken back, he's having temper tantrums like a schoolyard bully being forced to give back the lunch money he stole. It's easy to dismiss his behavior to that of an immature brat, but I believe it's something much worse. This is Rebel HQ. I'm Sandee Lovas. George Conway, prominent conservative lawyer and former Republican, in other words, an establishment Democrat, brings to the news circuit his expertise and insight, which has been granted as credible due to his marriage to Kellyanne Conway. He says the motive behind Trump hoarding top-secret documents at Mar-a-Lago is due to him acting like an entitled man-child. But that's not the full picture. We get caught up with trying to narrow down Trump to one thing. What was the motive? When really there's more than one correct answer. No one person is only one thing. So while Trump is a child and acts out as such, I believe the primary reason he kept the documents is for a much darker reason. It's for the same reason serial killers keep tokens of their victims. Serial killers are narcissists. They believe what they're doing is for a higher purpose and that they have godlike authority. But really, it's for their own sense of power, control, and dominance. They keep a part of their victim as a reminder of that power. It's a way to continue the feeling of dominance and ownership over their victim. The killer develops an attachment to these trophies that's so strong, they become part of their identity. To lose them would be to lose a part of their being, so they're aggressively territorial over them and will go after anyone who threatens to take them away. They validate the killer's disturbing belief in their purpose, and they can never have enough. What? I watch a lot of true crime documentaries. Trump kept the documents for those reasons. He had power, control, and dominance over the country, and he possibly wanted to sell some. And I have no doubt he showed them to others to prove he's someone important because, look at what I have in my possession. They're bragging rights, trophies, sentimental reminders of his time as commander-in-chief when he could demand respect without having to earn it. Because he's so attached to them, he's not going to let them go easily.
At the one hand, you're making threats, and you're encouraging mayhem against the FBI. I mean, that's what basically the Trump supporters have been doing, encouraging. We've seen unprecedented threats to the FBI. Imagine what it would be to what's going to happen to the witnesses who are listed in the affidavit. It's inconceivable that this could be allowed.
Can anyone be surprised by this? We've all seen how petty he is and how he lashes out at anyone he feels slighted by. He's currently in a paranoia meltdown, unsure of who sold him out, which means he's likely to go after anyone he's suspicious of. And by that I mean, his supporters will do the dirty work for him. Charles Manson was convicted of murder, even though he didn't do them himself, was in prison at the time, and never directly ordered them. It was his ideology that constituted an overt act of conspiracy. According to the case put forward, Manson didn't need to explicitly command anything in order for his family, his cult, to know what he wanted them to do. Is there a possibility folks in the Trump cult would act out on his behalf without being instructed to do so? We've already seen it happen. A man mailed 16 pipe bombs to Trump's critics. Thankfully, no one was injured, but it could have played out very differently. Does Trump bear some responsibility for this man's actions? Legally, no. Morally, yes. Well, it's great to see the FBI go after Trump and have the possibility of justice. Just because the FBI is involved now and took back sensitive documents before they fell into the wrong hands, wronger hands, it doesn't mean we can ignore how dangerous Trump is. If anything, he's more dangerous now that his freedom is at risk and the law's picking him apart. Well, that was a pretty dark place to leave this video, huh? I guess a silver lining would be all the spies who paid to have a membership at Mar-a-Lago in hopes of seeing the documents are now out $200,000. For more of my stuff, look for me on social media's left of the box. Don't forget to hit buttons and leave comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, get informed, get involved.